How many people in the Bible had the perfect life? If you know any, please share. Because when I look to scriptures, it is filled with struggling people. Adam lost one of his sons to the hands of another. Noah was tasked with building something he had never seen and facing ridicule for years. Not to mention being stuck in a ship for months due to flood. Abraham waited till 100 years to carry his wife's first child. He also had his wife being taken from him by a man of power. Job, Daniel, Jonah, Isaiah, Jeremiah, the list is endless. What of John the Baptist, who was arrested for committing no crime? Jesus also experienced it. Or do we mention the apostles? The people whose lives we celebrate today had struggles when they lived here. And while many of us focus on their blessings and victories, today I want you to look at your pain. Welcome to today's headline, Tomorrow. We're looking at when you have unanswered questions. Pastor Nicky Adeyemi once said, paraphrased, we're always going through something. The period when you're not going through anything, those are the irregular seasons. Jesus also told us, in this life you will have trials and tribulations. Look around you. Your CEO, your manager at work, your landlord if you stay in a rented apartment, your pastor, even the president, everyone you respect, everyone you envy or even look up to are going through something, just as you are. We are often made to feel as though we are the only ones going through something. So you must have been abandoned by God, right? It's a lie. Everyone is. The Bible tells us that we should rejoice when we go through these circumstances because we have overcome. That's the end point. You won. That's the end. But how about the journey? It most times doesn't feel like it. Sometimes you have unanswered questions, and it seems no one is willing or able to answer them. I'm not here to tell you that all your questions will be answered, but I'm here to let you know that it's okay to have questions. It doesn't mean you've fallen out from your place with God. It doesn't mean that God hates you or judges you. You can ask Him those questions. You actually can. And just like the rest of you, I'm going through one of life's storms. This has pushed me to seek God more and spend more time with Him. I've asked Him a number of questions too. And guess what? I found that He answers. Some He answered in 24 hours. Then it became a few hours. Now it feels like He answers not only my questions, but even my feelings. But there is this one question that He hasn't answered yet. And it's okay, because it's also teaching me to trust the process. So friend, trust the process. Those unanswered questions will get resolved at its time. So here's what you can do when your faith is struggling to stand. Number one, listen to the testimony of others. Like, seriously, don't miss the testimony session in church. Anywhere you see testimony of what God is doing, listen. It reminds you that He's not just the God of the Bible, He's the God of now, and that He's still working in our midst, in our world, in our generation. Number 2, remind yourself of your past and present testimonies. Yes, I said present. Because oftentimes when we are praying about that one thing that we need or want, it begins to look like God isn't doing anything else for us. But He's doing plenty. So we need to consciously see those things and tell it to ourselves. Remind yourself what He has done for you in the past. But more importantly, look at what He's doing even now. How about the strength He's giving you to go through this process? Number 3, and which is very important, draw strength and encouragement from those who have gone through a similar phase and are already at their breakthrough point. Those who have waited for that thing that you are waiting for, but they are already in their victory season. Let them encourage you. At Gethsemane, Jesus cried out, "Let this cup pass over me if it be possible, but not my will, but your will." And like Jesus, you want to please God with your life, but this cup feels too heavy for you. You know what God did? He sent Moses and Elijah to minister to him. Why? Moses was at a point where he felt these children of Israel are too rebellious. Am I the one that gave birth to them? Why am I saddled with these people? Elijah was at a point where he felt, I'm the only one that has not bowed to bow. So they could relate more closely with the feelings that Jesus had in that moment. So they were sent to encourage him. Number 1, to remind him that it's okay to feel this way sometimes. Number 2, to let him know that things are not always as they seem. And number 3, to remind him of the glory that lies ahead. No wonder, for the glory that lied ahead, he was able to endure the shame, to endure the pain, and to make the ultimate sacrifice. When you draw encouragement from people who have gone through a similar season, it encourages you that this phase will pass, this need will be met, this prayer will be answered, but most importantly, there is glory ahead. There is beauty ahead. Beauty that will erase the memory of the ashes. Glory that will bring to ultimate forgetfulness the memory of the shame. Don't forget, it's okay to have questions. It's okay to ask God questions. He's your Father. And it's okay if you don't get all the answers. Keep asking. He'll answer at the right time. I love you, and God loves you. Stay blessed.